there, welcome to this week's show. Today I'm making a dessert for you, and it's using a fritter batter, which is an egg white batter, and it's a sweet version of that. And we're going to be using apples, a Granny Smith apple, which is quite a tart apple, but it's balanced out quite nicely with the sweetness of the batter, and the sauce that goes over the top is a lemon citrus sauce. And we're going to be adapting that just a little bit by adding a couple of extra ingredients to it. But the fritter batter itself and the citrus sauce are both base recipes, and they're available on blackbookcooking.com, so you can come back after watching the video and look at those and see how they're made individually. But it really is a lovely dish, and it's really nice to have after a slightly heavy meal because it's very, very light, even though it is in a batter. We're also looking at deep frying with this. That's the basic skill and technique that's employed in this particular recipe. So let's have a look at how to put it together. To make this recipe, you will need a quantity of fritter batter, 1 quantity of lemon citrus sauce that we're going to add some maple syrup and creme fraiche to, 2 Granny Smith apples that have been cored and cut into 1 centimetre thick rings and then brushed with lemon juice to stop them from oxidising, a little bit of extra lemon juice, and you'll need some icing sugar to dip in, and we're going to be cooking them all in rice bran oil. And the reason we're using rice bran oil is because it's very neutral flavoured. It's also got an extremely high smoke point, so it's perfect for doing this type of cooking, deep frying, and it won't add any flavour to our sweet dessert. So let's begin by reheating our citrus sauce that we've already made. And you can make a citrus sauce pretty much out of any citrus fruit. This one's been made out of pure lemon juice with lemon rind and sugar. And to find out how to make a citrus sauce, you can come back to the website blackbookcooking.com, or you can buy the Little Black Cookbook. And the great thing about this sauce is its longevity. It will last for a long period of time. You can make it and leave it sitting in the fridge for literally weeks. To that we're going to add a little bit of maple syrup to give it a little bit of extra sweetness. Lemon citrus sauce tends to be a little more tart than orange, as you can imagine, so we're going to add a little bit more to that. And once that liquefies, turn the heat off completely, and to that we're going to add a little bit of creme fraiche. Now creme fraiche has got a little bit of a tart taste as well, and that will help to round off the flavours of our sauce. So we're just going to stir that through, and then we're going to let that sit until we're ready to serve it over the top of our apple fritters. Now we're going to cut the apple into 1-inch thick slices. So take off the end. You should get 3 slices approximately per apple, and cut off that end. Okay, so now it's time to coat our apple. And what we're going to do first, I'm actually going to move the batter just slightly over to the side because we're going to do the dipping over at the cooktop. But what we need to do first is we need to coat them in a little bit of icing sugar. So this will stick quite nicely because we've already brushed it with lemon, and the apple is also quite wet. So just dip them in so that they get a coating on either side. Do that to each of the rings. Shake off any excess. We just want a light coating, just for a little bit of sweetness, and also to dry the apple off a little bit, because if it's got too much moisture on it, the batter won't stick. Last little bit. Okay, now we'll pop them back in here to take them over to the cooktop, and we'll take our batter as well. Okay, so what I've got going here, you can either use a deep fryer. If you're doing this in a large batch, then that might be the way to go. But As you can see, I'm doing it in a saucepan, and I'm doing it this way with just a small amount of oil, one because a safety issue, but secondly we're only going to cook each of the fritters at a time. Now you can attempt to judge the temperature of the oil. It's very important what temperature you do your oil at. It needs to be around 190 degrees Celsius at a minimum temperature to make sure, one, that you seal the batter quickly, and also that it seals the outside and stops the oil from going inside. If the oil is actually colder than that, you'll find you'll get a very greasy result. Now if you are not good with actually judging it, and if you've not done this before, I suggest you purchase one of these. Now this is what we call a candy thermometer or a sweet thermometer. It can also be used for oil, and as you can see it goes right up to 400 degrees Celsius. So it's very 400 degrees Fahrenheit rather, and 200 degrees Celsius. So you'll be able to use this and gauge the temperature, and all you would do with that is literally set it into the oil so that the probe is in the oil, and then these little clamps on the outside here sit on the end of your pan, saucepan, or whatever it is that you're using. So it literally just sits in like that. You would pop that in, and then you can read, and if I turn that around you'll be able to see that that temperature is in fact increasing, and we'll be able to read our temperature as it comes all the way around. So you'll know exactly the right temperature to cook your food. And we are ready. So I'm going to turn my temperature down just ever so slightly, only so I don't burn myself. We're also going to take out our thermometer, and make sure you don't burn yourself with that either. And we're going to cook our fritters. Now we need to do these one at a time, and I suggest that you use a pair of tongs, and with your batter you're going to dip the fritter into the batter, coat it as much as you possibly can all the way around. You'll get some of it will come off, and then just straight into the oil. They take a very short space of time to do. They will brown almost instantly. Turn them and then lift them out. And that is exactly how quick they are, and you can see how quickly that browned up. I'll just bring that back in again so you get a slightly closer shot. There we go. And work your way through all of the fritters and get them all cooked in the batter. Okay, so once your fritters are done, then just bring them over to your plate and arrange them nicely as you can, and drizzle them with that warmed citrus sauce all over. And for a final effect, just add some mint leaves to the top and dust with a little bit of icing sugar. All right, I hope you enjoyed the recipe. I hope you enjoyed the show today, and I will look forward to seeing you again next time. Don't forget, come back to the website, blackbookcooking.com. That's where all the skill and technique videos and all the base recipe videos are, plus there's podcasts and audio files and much, much more. You can join, become a member to have access to all of that. Don't forget, you can buy the book, the Little Black Cookbook, which is what all these recipes come out of, even though they're on the site as well. That way you'll have them in the kitchen with you while you're doing your work. And also don't forget to connect with us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Love to have a conversation with you, love to hear your thoughts about the show, and love to hear your ideas and what sorts of things you'd like to see me making. I'd be happy to give those any number of thought. So thank you so much for being here today, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Happy cooking. I'm Victoria.